Hello and welcome back or welcome to the channel. I'm LoudGuns and today I'm just making a vid to have a small rant. First up, apologies for being MIA for the past week. We're in the classic cyclical Star Citizen lull period. Come around every summer since I've been doing this, and the key content creation arcs seem to be either dumping on CIG for a disappointing livestream that didn't meet expectations, or building up expectations with tentative features announced for 4.11. Well, I don't have all that much time for that either way, but then during a friendly game of five-a-side football I took the proverbial arrow to the knee and broke my leg. So I've been out of action for a wee bit, and neither of those potential video ideas seemed worth hobbling to my PC for. So if I'm not going to belatedly rant about Ollie and Jared, what is the point of this video? Well, it's all about drip, and how potential desire for cool looking gear is effectively culled by the crafting system. For a game so often, rightly to my mind, termed pay to win, this is a rare example of pay to lose. And for me, it was all triggered by this. The 4.10 pack, including the new super heavy armour suit in a Damascus steel paint job, along with a matching paint for the Anvil Asgard dropship. Now, I love paints and cosmetics. I understand that some people hate microtransactions in all of their various forms, but personally, I think they're a perfectly fine way to fund a game. I've sunk far too much of my life into League of Legends, my dog is even named after one of the jungle monsters. And say what you will about it, this model does work. It's an avenue to raise funds without interfering with game balance. So in League, all of the champions are just the champs, they have whatever abilities and stats they have, and they're unlockable without any real cash expenditure. But players can buy skins for their favourite ones for a cosmetic upgrade. If you queue up for a game, it's more rare to see a standard unskinned champion than a skinned one. And $500 faker skins aside, it doesn't feel overly predatory. You're literally buying art. You get something cool to look at, and the developer gets cash in the bank. If you don't buy it, you're at no disadvantage whatsoever. You can still play the same champion with the same stats and abilities. If you do buy it, you're similarly buying no advantage. You just look cooler when you screw up a play. This brings us back to Star Citizen, and specifically the Damascus Steel Super Heavy. I mentioned I love paints and cosmetics, well I especially love steel look, and Damascus Steel is best steel. So I'm literally the target market for this product. I'm not an MTX hater and I value cosmetics. If I ease up on the flat whites for a week, it won't dent my wallet too much. I'm gonna want the heavy armour, I like the Asgard as a ship, and this paint job is my jam. But I'm still not gonna buy it for myself. And that's because I prioritise gaining advantages in the game. And the crafting system that CIG have developed kills the drip market in its current form for me. I've been keeping an eye on 4.10 while working on my sofa ass groove due to the leg. I've noticed that everyone's favourite Banu has a mission for the super heavy set, which also unlocks the blueprint for making more, which is a cool new addition to the Wicklow system in recent patches. So by mining some decent mats, you can buff your resistances and temp ranges and get an improved set of super heavy armour. Now for some gamers I understand, this isn't going to matter at all. They prioritise drip over efficiency, and to them the buffs afforded by crafted weapons and armour are just not worth sacrificing the looks. I think there are a significant amount of people in my camp. I'm quite competitive, our org engages in PvP, many of us like to min-max PvE content. In this context, advantages, even the seemingly small ones, do matter. If all else is equal in terms of skill, then the stats of the armour and the guns are going to make the difference. One of our key focuses as an org over the last few patches with crafting has been developing production loop. It's actually been a really rewarding part of the game, letting us see the benefits of having folks interested in resource gathering, logistics, crafting and combat all under one roof. But while I like the cosmetics, drip is always going to come second to utility. I'll look for the best looking version of the best thing. And under the current system, that's never going to be the armour set or gun that I buy off the pledge store. I'm always a little bit cautious of delivering the and how to fix it part of these videos. On the one hand, I'm not a game dev, so I'm not sure how much work things are to refactor, and on the other, I don't have the inside line on CIG's books. I can't tell if I'm the exception or the rule in terms of my opinion on drip versus utility. But let's just assume that this is a common feeling. Please tell me yay or nay down in the comments. I think it's very much time that CIG unpick what they've built so far and redevelop the existing gear sets as skins rather than items. Having purchased my Damascus Steel Super Heavy set, I should have a cosmetics tab in the inventory that allows me to paint any version of this armor once. If the paint is already in use on another set, then it should disappear and be applied to the new set. Just to ensure that one purchase doesn't equal an entire Org's Armory worth of cosmetic enhanced gear, allowing me to reapply the drip to the enhanced crafted gear once I unlock it, or if I lose a set of armor, to repaint the new one. This will open up a frequent point of contention. At some distant point in the past, Chris said something along the lines of everything that can be bought for cash will be attainable in-game. Many subscriber and pledge items have been added to the loot tables, and the answer for anything that wasn't lootable was that you could kill a player who had it and take it off them. Player looting like this has taken a backseat with tier 0 item recovery, but we know that that's not where CIG want things to end up. In all likelihood, some form of kill and loot will be back on the menu at some point in the future. So this does create a conundrum. If it's a skin, and there can only be one copy of said skin, how can it be looted? Well, I think this is quite simple. Maybe it can't be. If a skin is a pure cosmetic and doesn't impact the underlying item whatsoever, then I would argue that the person who paid for it is entitled to it, and the person who didn't pay for it isn't. As long as when looting returns with tier 1 or tier 2 item recovery, you can take the physical gun or armor set, complete with any enhanced crafting stats, does it really matter that you don't get the shiny cosmetic paint job I have on it? I would argue that it doesn't. You haven't been disadvantaged in any way in terms of stats, you still have the spoils of war, you just don't have a cool look that you didn't pay for. One aspect I would really not want to see is any form of blueprint unlock being associated with the purchase. To be honest, I think if CIG had gone down the skin route from the beginning, as they probably should have, then it would be questionable if you would even get the item of armor or the gun, and more likely the skin would just be sold as a standalone item like ship paints are. That ship has probably sailed, and including a base version of the item itself. I think it's important for game integrity that blueprints should remain an earning game, as opposed to becoming a pay-to-win element. I just want to know that when I hit the progression point and unlock crafted versions of stuff, it won't destine any pledge store cosmetics to obsolescence. I know these aren't brand new ideas, and I've had conversations with a number of folks and seen various other YouTubers and streamers comment on this over the years. I think it really should be coming to the fore now due to the continued build out of the crafting system. I think this just creates a really clear disconnect, where CIG's game design is effectively hamstringing their sales strategy. And if they hope to continue with these new cosmetic bundles that are coming out more regularly, and they want people to actually look at them and buy them, then I think it's definitely something they should be looking at. So there we have it for what is hopefully a short video. Been brewing in my head for a while as I saw a bunch of cool looking armors and guns released in these monthly packs, but this Damascus Steel one was the thing that finally ticked me off enough to make the vid. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Are you a cosmetic fiend willing to sacrifice stats in the name of drip? Or are you like me, wishing that you could look better but unable to bring yourself to limit your min-max potential? Rehab on my leg is going pretty well, so fingers crossed it shouldn't be as long until my next release. I do have a couple of scripts that I started working on from the sofa. So if you like what I do, please do hit subscribe for more content. With all that said, thanks for watching and stay safe in the space lanes.